guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Michelle, and in today's video I want to talk about my labor and delivery experience. Yeah, about that. Okay, so I had my daughter February 23rd. She was 2 days late, and I was doing everything I could to get her out because I was over being pregnant. My legs were hurting. I couldn't sleep on my back, on my sides. It was uncomfortable walking. I was just over it. So the day before, my husband and I and my mom, we walked around the block, did that. I was sore after that. Then we went to the movies and I was craving all of these sweets. Then that morning around 6 a.m. I was feeling cramps and I was timing it, and I noticed that they were about 7 minutes apart. So as I was timing it, I'm like, maybe it could be contractions, but I wasn't sure because I didn't know what contractions felt like and I didn't know what to expect. So I'm timing it, and then my app is like, get ready to go to the hospital. And I'm like, is this really going down? Is it happening today? Okay. But that morning I had a doctor's appointment at 11, so we all went to the doctor, and my midwife, she checked me and was like, yeah, you're about 2 centimeters, you can have this baby today. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So the contractions, or the cramps I was feeling, were contractions. We were excited about going to the hospital. My husband wanted to get a hotel room nearby because he was honestly scared that I would have the baby in the car or in the store walking around. He was just so worried leading up to me delivering, which I understand. You know, you see stories about women having babies in the car on the way to the hospital, and he didn't want that. But in my mind, I was like, I'm going to have the baby in the hospital. She's not coming out. I mean, I wore a diaper on the way there just in case, but everything was fine. So we went back to the house just to play it out, not to go to the hospital right away. So my mom made lunch, and as we were having lunch, the pain became more intense. I was sitting on the ball. I called my doctor, and she was like, how far along the contractions apart, how far along were they? And I was like, about 4 minutes. So she said, go to the hospital. So we get there. I think it's around 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, the 22nd. And then as we checked in, I went into triage where they checked the pulse of the baby, and I had to lay down. First of all, my back was in so much pain. I could not lay flat. I haven't been laying flat on my back for 4 months. So laying on that bed, on the stretcher for 20 minutes was not cute. And I was ready to get up, like, let's go to the delivery room. Are we done yet? So she checked me. She said I was ready to go to the delivery room. Okay, so we go into the delivery room, and oh, I forgot to tell you, I was trying to do a natural water birth, and that was another thing that I have to tell you. So I get into the delivery room. Maybe an hour later, they set up the tub for me to deliver the baby in, and you get an enema too, so you have to like flush everything out. I could not even walk from the bed to the bathroom. I was in so much pain. The contractions were getting closer together, they were getting strong, and as they checked me, I was only 2 centimeters still. So the lady came in to set up my tub. I get in there thinking I was going to be relieved a little more, but for me, my experience, it wasn't that much relief. Like, the water was warm, but I was in so much pain. I was tense. and I was only in one position. I was trying to do another position, but I couldn't even open my legs. It was so intense that I eventually, after 3 hours, I couldn't do it anymore. I had to tell my husband, like, I need to get an epidural, get the doctor, because I am not gonna sit in this tub for maybe another 12 hours. I don't know. I'm looking at the clock. She could be here in 2 days, and I'm not sitting in the tub for this long. Now, for a natural water birth, I honestly think you have to be mentally prepared, get a doula, take some classes, because I did not do any of that. And I think that was my problem. If I had done that again, I would have prepared myself for something like that, because labor is really hard. They didn't tell you that. I mean, I was downplaying contractions in labor, like, oh, I got this. It looks painful, but I don't think it's that bad. I'll just breathe it out. Michelle, you're doing too much. Like, whew, my brain was, I was caught off guard by the pain. It was too much. So they bring the anesthesiologist in because my nurse, she knew I was exhausted. I was tired after 3 hours being in that tub. Everything was hazy. I bit my husband's arm. I scratched some skin off. I almost smacked my mom. Now, I had to look her in the face first before I did that because I was like, I can't hit my mom. You know, you can't hit your mom. And I was grabbing onto the nurse when I was going through contractions, and she knew. I was saying all kinds of things. I was like, you know, don't have a kid yet, because this labor right here, it's painful. Okay. So I get out of the tub, go back into the bed. The anesthesiologist comes in and she gives me the epidural. I was like, this epidural needs to come on because I cannot wait. And the contractions kept coming in, and I was so tired, and I was so scared for the next one because it feels like pressure going up and down. Like it's like a wave of pain, like a balloon in your uterus that expands. But as I was explaining it to people, it feels like a building being shoved up your butt and exploding over and over again. And it's funny how hormones do something to you, because after having a baby, since I am only like 2 months after having my daughter, I feel like I'm kind of forgetting what I went through so that you can have another baby. But during that moment, I was like, I am not having another kid. I don't know how I'm gonna have a second one, because this experience is, no, horrible. Yeah, so she gives me the epidural, and then the pain was not instantly, I would say like a minute later, 2 minutes later, it was like relief. 1,000 times much better with the medicine. So if you don't like pain, I highly recommend the epidural. Because now that I've experienced the whole water birth without medicine and then getting the epidural, yeah, take the medicine. Like, you feel pressure, but you don't feel any pain at all. And after a few hours, it would start wearing off, and I would have to tell the doctor, like, you guys need to give me some more epidural, because as I'm pressing the button for more epidural, it's not working. And I'm like, I can't, you know, be in this bed like this with the pain. So what was it? I had the epidural at 3 a.m. She checked me again at 7 a.m. I was 4 centimeters. And then at 2 p.m. I was 6 centimeters. And during this entire time, I'm not eating as much. My husband was eating a lot. I think he was just nervous. My mom couldn't eat. That entire time, I was getting frustrated because my cervix wasn't progressing a lot. And I believe I had Pitocin as well. I think I did. And my doctor was like, we don't need you to be pregnant anymore. You need to move positions. This was around 5 p.m. and I'm like, I don't want to move. I'm in so much pain. I'm uncomfortable. I couldn't lay on my side. And she was like, if you want this baby out, we have to get the peanut ball and you're gonna have to lay on your side so we can progress. And I was like, okay, I have to do this. Michelle, you cannot be scared anymore. So it's like a mental thing. You have to, it's a marathon. You have to hype yourself up. So have a great support group in your delivery room because that is highly, highly needed. Labor is so tough, but you can do it. I mean, I was surprised how well I went through it, and an experience like this really inspired me because I feel like delivering a baby, if I can deliver a baby, I can do anything, because that pain is just, it's just out of this world. It's hard, and they don't call it labor for nothing. So around 5 p.m. I had to switch sides with the peanut ball so that my cervix could progress, and it did. Around 6:15 I was 10 centimeters, and for about 20 minutes I would say I pushed. So during pushing, I didn't think I was gonna have my baby come out. I didn't think it was gonna happen. It just seemed like, okay, I've been pregnant for 9 months, but actually having your baby, it didn't seem real to me. So they're setting everything up. They're telling me that, you know, I had to they're gonna write my name on the bands for the baby, for her anklet and for my wrists. And I'm just like, I'm really gonna have this baby right now. She's coming, oh my God. And so my husband starts playing music, and as I'm pushing, I still have the epidural in me. He plays French Montana, Pop That. Okay. My doctor was like, this is not happening right now. He is not playing this music for this baby to come out. And I was dancing to it a little bit and trying to focus on pushing this baby out, but it was hilarious. Friends who know me and Ari, they know that my husband, he's very random and he's fun, and he does things that are just sometimes questionable, but he's hilarious and sweet. And so I'm pushing, and as I'm pushing, I actually had the mirror too, so I can see everything down there. I know for some people it's like, why would you want to see anything down there? But I'm curious like that. I'm weird. And so I'm pushing, I see her head coming out, but not really. As I stop pushing, she's coming back in again. And I'm like, come on, I want you to come out. I'm done being in this pain. Let's go. So my doctor's counting down, 10 seconds. I'm pushing, and I think I was pushing 4 times, 4 different sets. And then my eyes were closed because I was like, okay, let me push her out. And then my doctor's like, open your eyes, Michelle. And I open my eyes and I see my baby, and it was like, oh my God, she's so cute. And then she lays her on me, and I'm still in pain. It wasn't that moment. I didn't have that moment where I'm like, oh my God, she's here, I'm crying. I wasn't crying. I was still in pain. I was in shock too. But I was very happy, and my husband, I think he had a tear as well. My mom was there, and I heard her cry. Luna, her name is Luna. She's crying a little bit, and then they take her and wipe her down. And I'm like, wow, she was such a calm baby too. And it was a trick because the next 2 days she wasn't that calm. But the first day, amazing. And my whole delivery and labor experience wasn't what I had imagined, especially the pain. It was the pain part I didn't imagine. And then I wanted to have a water birth. I wanted to, you know, have her in the water, but that didn't work out. So I always told myself that if anything changes, I'm gonna be open-minded. I'm not going to try to stick to a certain plan because things can happen, and if I try to stick to one plan, I would stress myself out. And I highly recommend also, you know, with birth, anything can happen. You can have a plan in your head, and most of the time, sometimes it doesn't work. So as long as you have a healthy baby and you're healthy, then that's perfect. After an hour, we moved into another room, which was like the recovery room after having the baby. It was a nice room, very modern, and I would say the first night, Luna was so amazing. She was so calm. I breastfed her. Oh, and after delivering her, they gave her to me, and she was breastfeeding right away. And that feeling, it was just like a weird feeling having my baby just latch on like that. And she was perfect. She was like by the book. She had no problems latching. It was difficult for me breastfeeding for those first 12 days, or the first 3 days, I would say. I felt like I needed one of those shields, because the way she was latching on, ooh, that hurt really bad. But I got used to it. But anyway, so we're in the hospital room for the next 3 days, and I'm bonding with my baby, and my mom is with me, and my husband is so happy. And that is our story. That's my story, my labor and delivery story. I would say I am very blessed for the way my delivery and labor went. I had amazing nurses, and the doctor was amazing. Everything went very well, and I will deliver at the same hospital and doctor again. So yeah, that's my video for today. Thank you for watching, and if you're new, please subscribe and turn on the bell for notifications, and I will see you later.